Hello, everybody. My name is Jim Farmer. I am the festival director of Out on Film, Atlanta's LGBTQ Film Festival. This is our 37th year, and we have some amazing films in our lineup this year. One of our favorites is What a Feeling, directed by Kate Rohrer. I'm going to read a brief description, and then we're going to have a discussion with the director. And What a Feeling screens on Saturday, October 5th at 4:15 p.m. at the Midtown Arts Center. Marie Therese, a successful doctor, had different plans for her 20th wedding anniversary. Did her husband Alexander really have to break up with her that evening? Yes, he had to, because not only did he imagine the evening going differently, but a whole different life, more happiness and freedom. Less Marie Therese. As a result of this unpleasant turn of events, Marie Therese does what any sensible woman in her position would do. She goes for a drink and stumbles into a gay bar and meets Fa. Fa is fun-loving, spontaneous, and unattached. She lives her life. She lives her life openly. Even though the stuck-up doctor isn't Fa's type, she still takes Marie Therese home after the boozy evening. Marie Therese, however, is too drunk to remember. Did we or didn't we? Are their worlds as their world collides? Feelings emerge, but nothing is simple. There is no straight path for Marie Therese and Fa. Again, the movie is What a Feeling. I'm happy to introduce you to Kate Rohrer.
Hello. I'm
Thanks for
happy to
talking
be
to us
here.
today. Thanks so much for making this film and getting it out to the world this year.
Thank you. Well, thank you for having us and thank you for showing it to Atlanta audiences. We're super thrilled.
Absolutely. So, what made you want to make this?
I had the idea a little bit before the pandemic, to
Mhm.
be honest. I wrote it down, I wrote a treatment, then I put it away. I was like, I'll deal with it when I have time. And then the pandemic hit, and I had a lot of time. And while we were all watching Netflix and whatever else we were watching, I realized because I was looking for representation. I was, at the end of my 30s, beginning 40s. I had just gotten left by my girlfriend, and I wanted to see myself on screen. And I realized that there are not very many happy rom-com, lesbian movies. A lot of lesbian movies end very badly and are very depressing. And I was
Exactly.
like, yes. And I was like, I need to change that. And I figured that, when we come out of this pandemic, whenever that would be at the time, we didn't know, that we needed something to laugh at. So I really wanted to do a comedy.
Thank you so much for doing that. What all is Marie Therese dealing with as the film opens?
Well, she's dealing with being left by her husband of 20 years, surprisingly enough, in a very public manner, which I think is
Exactly.
not very nice of him. But he has a point. Their marriage they've become a little bit complacent, and he wants more. So she's left with the rubbles of their relationship, and has a chance meeting with Fa, who's very different from her. These two characters couldn't be more different, and I think
Exactly.
that's the attraction between the two of them.
What can you talk a little bit more about the differences? Because as you said, these people are completely different.
Yeah, Marie Therese is very organized, very much follow the rules, very
Mm,
stuck up German,
yeah.
with a little clumsy streak, which I like about her.
Yeah.
She has this clumsy
Mhm.
side of her. And then Fa is very cool, very suave, very, she does well with the ladies.
Mhm.
Um, but there's some insecurities. Nothing is ever as it
Yeah.
seems.
This film is enjoying a very successful festival run. Where are you right now in your festival run?
We're about, I think, halfway. We have, I think, another half a year to go. Right now, it's really hitting the US very strong, which we're super, super thrilled about. It did quite a bit of Europe towards the beginning of the year, and now we're in the US, and I think it's going to continue towards the end of the year and the beginning into next, which is super, super thrilling. And I'm personally super happy because I've lived in the US for 20 years, so I'm super happy it's making its way over here.
That's nice. What's it like seeing this with an audience?
Fun. We've screened in many different countries, and it's always interesting to see who reflects on
Mhm.
different aspects of the story. So we had a screening in Rome, for example, and there was, those audiences tended to gravitate more towards the story between Fa and her mother, yeah, because the Italians have a little bit of a mother thing going on, or or Marie Therese and her daughter. So that's super interesting to see how the jokes land, because I think there's something for everyone. There's something for queer audience, but also Persian audiences, or heterosexual
Hmm.
audiences that have been married for a long time. And it's always funny to see where the jokes land.
Exactly. I mean, this is such a crowd pleasing movie. It really leaves you with a smile on your
Thank
face.
you.
But can you talk a little bit about queer representation and why that is important to you and why it's necessary?
Well, it's funny because I've lived in the US for 20 years. I'm originally from Austria, and I've lived in the US for 20 years. And, representation has been slow here, but in the last 10 years, it's become more and more. And then while I was in the pandemic, I was actually stuck in Austria, and I realized, I think also because of the pandemic, because there was a lot of TV shows, Austrian television chose not to include the pandemic in anything they were showing,
Hmm.
fictionalized. And I felt like I was going I was going through this by myself somehow, and I wasn't seeing on the screen I was going through. And then I watched all these lesbian movies, and a lot of them, at least the ones with a happy ending, are coming of age stories for younger people. So
Hmm.
I didn't see what I was struggling with at the time, having
Exactly.
been broken up with, or breaking up, having broken up at the end of my 30s. So, the stakes are different when you end a relationship at the end of your 30s. Then the questions are, I feel, a little bigger and a little more life altering than in your 20s. You have more time, right? Particularly for a woman, I think, in
Hmm.
the end of the 30s. So, and I didn't see any stories. I didn't,
Yeah.
I saw married women leaving their relationships, maybe, and then it not ending happily. So I wanted to make something where I saw myself represented, and I'll be honest, that's when I really realized how important representation is.
Gotcha.
I understood the concept, but really feeling it was during that time.
Yeah, I'm part of a queer programmers group, and we meet once a week, and we're always, talking shop about what films everybody's seen, what's coming down, what everybody should watch, and we are always like crossing our fingers, like, do the women live at the end? Who dies?
Yeah.
Like, can we have a joyous season this year? And thank you so much for this film, because again, this is very obviously it's comedic, it's very character driven, but it's also again crowd pleasing and very joyous. So thank you much for that. So tell me what's next for the film and what's next for you.
Yeah, so we have a lot more festivals coming up through the fall. So, and we're being theatrically released right now in Germany, so that's exciting, and we're
Yeah,
hoping the same for the US and maybe the United Kingdom.
yeah.
So hopefully it'll still have a long life, because I really, obviously we all make movies so they're seen by audiences.
Hmm.
That's their whole point, and to inspire people to talk about their experience and maybe find a community.
Yeah,
And yeah, and then we'll see how long that goes, and after that, on to the next, I guess. That's how it is with us filmmakers. We move
exactly.
on.
Exactly. It's been a pleasure talking to you. The
Thank
film
you.
is What a Feeling. It screens Saturday, October 5th at 4:15 at the Midtown Arts Cinema as part of Out on Film. It's been a pleasure talking to you, Director Kat Rohrer.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful festival. I'm sorry I can't be there. I wish I could, but
We'll get you
but
next time.
yeah, next time. Exactly. Have a great festival, everyone.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye bye.